All right. Mosquera to Arsenal. Here we go. Here we go. Guys, Andre Bartha is really writing history in the books of Arsenal. I've never gone here to see Arsenal aggressive like this. By the way, the last time I saw Arsenal aggressive like this was that season that started and United went ahead to annihilate them 8-2 at Old Trafford. Arsene Wenger went ahead to bring in Per Mertesacker. He brought in Mesut Ozil. He signed like 4 players, yet the window was obviously coming to an end. But this time round, this is the 5th player that Arsenal is getting in through, and 2 more are yet to come at the club of Arsenal. So they are really up and down, and they want to obviously get ready for the season. Looks like Andre Bartha, when he was coming through at Arsenal, he was like, I need a budget to obviously do my stuff, and he was like, you are supposed to obviously get me money. Luka Modric has gone ahead obviously undergo his medical at AC Milan, and then Omari Hutchinson, formerly at Arsenal, looks like he's heading to Brentford. So let's obviously start it off from where Fabrizio Romano started it off. I think today morning he said Christian Mosquera has been clear with Valencia. He wants to join Arsenal. The agreement on personal terms has been done and sealed for weeks. New round of talks next week to get the deal done. No chance for Mosquera to sign new deal at Valencia. Remember, his contract was expiring next summer, and it expiring next summer, it will lead to none other than him leaving as a free agent. And after him passing this message to Valencia, guess what is going to happen? A breaking story has been dropped that Christian Mosquera to Arsenal. Here we go. Verbal agreement in place with formal steps to follow. 15 million euros fee plus add-ons. Total package under 20 million euros. Long-term deal in place. Mosquera, who only wanted Arsenal, medical ready later this week if all goes to plan. So here we go has been pronounced by Fabrizio Romano on the deal of Mosquera, and the player is obviously going to be joining the club of Arsenal. Now, for Mosquera to come in through, that shows you that Arsenal are really very intentional, because they've gotten to know that they needed another right-sided centre-back. You understand? And most times when one of Saliba or Gabriel Magalhaes got injured, they obviously had to play with what we call a left-sided centre-back. And Kivio was playing with Magalhaes, you understand? So yet that isn't the case. You're supposed to be having a right-sided centre-back and a left-sided centre-back in Christian Mosquera, and the club of Arsenal is really ready to see to it that all goes on well as planned. So as it stands, we are here to let you know that Arsenal has gone ahead obviously getting another player. Mosquera has been playing for Valencia, and that shows you that he hasn't been on the ladder of Arsenal. That means the idea of signing him came in through from the sporting director for the club of Arsenal, known as Andrea Bartha. You understand? So Andrea Bartha has been in Spain for some long time, and I think he saw this guy coming from the under 17, under 18, under 20, and under 21 for the side of Valencia, and has been playing for the Spanish unders. So that means he has been scouted well for some time, and that is Mosquera. So he's going to be coming in through. I think he's just 20 years of age, turning 21 this year. Arsenal have gone ahead to get themselves another beast of a player who is obviously going to be turning out into a Saliba. And him coming in through will leave very many questions on the table of Arsenal. That is Arsenal planning for the days of, or the post-Saliba days, because Real Madrid have been chasing after this guy, but they're coming in for Hutchinson and they're going in for Konate. You never know, he might obviously turn out to come in through with a player known as William Saliba. But he's coming in through not as a starter, but as an understudy for William Saliba. But this is really very good, because I've gone ahead to see William Saliba play almost every game, yet he needs to be rested sometimes as to keep his fitness. So as it stands for me, I believe that Mosquera is a good move for the club of Arsenal. You have to be having a Saliba, then another Saliba in making, that is Mosquera. And by the time Saliba clocks maybe 29 years of age, Mosquera would have gone ahead to his prime and would be one of those players that will obviously take Arsenal to the next level. And remember, Tomiyasu is another player that his contract got terminated by the club of Arsenal. And remember, I told you last season that by the start of last season that there are two players that I believe their careers are in jeopardy at Arsenal if at all they don't really improve and don't really make themselves available because of injuries. That was Tomiyasu and Gabriel Jesus. And for Gabriel Jesus, at least has gone ahead to come in and play some games. But for Tomiyasu, it was really worse. Injury after injury, and his contract got terminated. And that's why they got in a Mosquera, because Tomiyasu was one of those players you could trust to play in the central defense on the right side of the center back. Now, Mosquera is in, and his medical is being planned. So, now, that means Kepa, 1, 2 Nogard, 3 Zubimendi, 4 Madueke, 5 Mosquera. And obviously the here we go of Victor Gyökeres is not far off from being pronounced onto this beautiful channel of ours. So we are here to wait and see how that pans out, and we will let you know of what the world has for the side of Arsenal. But they are really strengthening hugely. Now, going to Milan, Luka Modric arrived to undergo medical tests as new AC Milan player 50 days after exclusive story out of nowhere. He's now joining AC Milan. Now, Luka Modric had his last dance at Real Madrid when they were knocked out by PSG in a semi-final that saw PSG put 4 goals past them, and Madrid couldn't even respond with just a mere goal. Now, he is like, I'm Luka Modric. I feel like I should be playing at the top level. And AC Milan raised up their hand and they told him, please, we want to sign you as a free agent. And I was always told you that the League of Italy really resonates well with the side of us, with the side of players who have gone ahead, obviously, go in age. And I know he's obviously going to help them a lot when it comes to creating goals and others in there, because he's such a talent that you just need to obviously vibe with him and get him right players around him to see to it that all goes on well as planned. And for Real Madrid and for AC Milan, I think they're really in huge profits because they've just gone ahead to sell Reinders, for like 70-80 million euros to Man City. And guess what? They're making a profit, and they've gone ahead to get his replacement, who is a free agent. So that means they'll take their time to obviously look out for another player that could obviously come in the foots of, or for the boots of Luka Modric into the mix. So, as it stands, Luka Modric is obviously going to be unveiled soon, and he has gone ahead to pass the medical in there. Lastly, before we obviously call it quits for the third story of the day, it's all about Brentford are showing interest. Are showing initial interest in Omari Hutchinson as possible replacement for Bryan Mbeumo in case of exit with Man United on it. Brentford appreciate Hutchinson, but no club-to-club talks yet with Ipswich. So, Brentford are in for Hutchinson, and that shows you that anytime from now, the deal of Bryan Mbeumo is obviously going to be made official, and he will be given permission to obviously go and undergo what we call medical at the side of Arsenal. At the side of Man United, and Hutchinson will come in through. That means Hutchinson is obviously going to be back in London as he obviously takes full step and facing Arsenal again, because he was an Arsenal player, went to Chelsea. Chelsea sold him to Ipswich for £20 million, and I think Ipswich having going to be relegated, I know they'll be looking around £30 million for Hutchinson, and maybe a sell-on clause will be included into that deal that will see that guy go where he deserves to be. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Rokani David is my name, and I'm calling in for your reactions of Mosquera to Arsenal. Here we go in the comment section below. Luka Modric, what do you make about his transfer? And lastly, I would love to know what your thoughts are about a guy called Hutchinson being looked at the replacement of Brian Mbeumo. Do you think he's the right replacement? I think he is, and I think he's more talented than Brian Mbeumo. Only what he has to do is the consistency, and the next manager of Brentford will he obviously understand him better. That's what we get from there. I'm out.